what do you call a plane full of bald people? Receding airlines. No? Okay, that wasn't the best ever. Also, I think maybe I've told it before. Anyway, early morning again. Jeez, can't sleep. But I'm excited to do my morning shave, and I'm excited to do it with this cool razor. This is a Shave&Butcher, medium size hollow ground, cool stamp on the blade. It's from Sheffield in England. It has a barber's notch and all original stuff. So this is, I don't know, Bakelite scales, possibly. The wedge, the spacer seems to be some kind of wood, and it has a cool feature. At the the pin up front is a normal pin where you put the pin with the head in, and you put a washer over, and you bang it with a pin hammer and it locks basically. But at this end, it might be hard to see, at this end there is a screw and a bolt. Well, not a bolt, but a locky thingy where you can put in a screwdriver. Seemingly, I haven't tried, but so instead of destroying that, if you need to take out the blade to clean it or replace the scale, well, replacing the scales doesn't matter. But anyway, if you want to remove the blade, which you sometimes do, if you want to clean it and polish it, etc., you can keep it all original, and you don't have to take the pin away, which just makes it so easy to break the scales. I've done it many times, so I haven't tried this, but it seems like you can open this and you can have a spanner, it looks like, at the other end. So I've never seen that. Cool feature. This was a gift from Chris Bailey at IAMCDB. Thank you, Chris. He just sent it. What a guy. In honor of Chris, we're doing a citrus soap today. My favorite citrus soap, and it's from Phoenix and Bow in England. It's Citra Royale. Really cool. So Lycea cubera, which is a plant, lime and cedar wood. And it's a really classy citrus. It's not all citrus, right? It has a woody, I can't talk about scents intelligently. Brush is my super cool Grey Dog brush. It's a full moon synthetic knot and a handle turned by Grey Dog himself from maple tree in his backyard. So that's what we're doing. It's Friday today. And I've had a busy week, so I am really looking forward to Friday evening. It's going to be Friday at the cabin. Just me and the missus, because kids aren't coming. One has suspected COVID. She's got a cold. So, but it could be the C word. The C word. So she's not gonna come. She lives by herself. So that's that. And the young one just turned 18, which means you can go to bars in Sweden and order alcohol. And I'm sure that has nothing to do with it, but he's staying in town for the weekend. And his mother's going, you have to be careful. You have to think about, boys can get into trouble too. She doesn't speak like that, but it's like, she's almost saying, yeah, boys can get raped too. And he's like 6 foot, so I don't know. He's a tall, big guy, and he's just looking at her. Okay, mommy, I promise to be careful. She's a mom. She's a proper mom. She's the best. And she worries, you know. So fridge and freezer are full of food, like it usually is. But she's going to go shopping anyway, so we'll be gone for 48 hours, and she'll just pack that freezer even fuller. And she'll buy sweets and stuff that she usually doesn't buy, just because, you know, I'm not trying to make fun of mothers. Well, a little bit maybe, but I find that great. He likes it too. Oh, you got money for pizza? Mom, I got money. It's okay, you know. And I'll probably cook myself something, or just eat out. Yeah, okay. But I'll send you some money. Yeah. There's that voice again. I'll send you some money just in case you want to order pizza, baby boy. Okay, Mom. And then he's gonna spend it all on drugs. No, he's not. I don't think he's doing drugs. You never know. He does okay in school. He goes to school. Well, and does okay. So what can you know, apart from that, and he keeps his room clean. He's 18, he lives at home. Yeah, you gotta be happy. You gotta be happy as a parent when it's like that, because it could be so much worse. Jesus. The drug thing, I'm not joking about. Well, I am, but I shouldn't be. Drugs are, jeez, no good. Don't do drugs, kids. Mind you, know, if you're like 70 and you're retired and you're bored, your body aches, then, you know, no, I'm not going to advocate anything. I'm just saying, you know, if you're a kid, stay away, eat your greens. Like Frank Strömberg says, what does he say? Eat your veggies, be kind to your mothers. That's standard advice every day for everybody. Okay. How is the lather? I think it's decent. It's wet anyway. Here we go. Pretty small little razor. But it's a Shave&Butcher. Shave&Butchers are cool razors. They're some of the favorite ones. So this has been for a bit of a touch-up with the Hohenmeister Niklas. Let's see what gravity is like this morning, and it's perfect. When it glides off and there's almost no residue, so it just the whole thing falls off. I like that. Seems to be a really good edge. But we won't really know until the second pass. That's the test of any edge. Shoulders acting up a bit again. God. So I'm going to a physiotherapist. I like him, but he's one of the most relaxed persons I've ever met. So I came yesterday, and I think maybe he forgot I was coming. So he said, right. You were just here very recently. So just sit down and and he put some electronic thing that works the muscles, so he can fold his arm and just sit there. And we talked for half an hour. A really interesting guy. But he's, I don't know. It's free. Boom, shakalaka. I did tell you, Josh told me boom, of course, maybe you know, boom shakalaka is like a sexual position. And I'm clearly using it incorrectly. I just like the sound of it. Oh, and speaking of liking the sound of things, the Sweden national side in men's football was playing qualifying game to the World Cup, which is in Qatar. My commute daughter says not to watch the qualifying games, even if they're played in Sweden, because the what do you call them? Guest workers, Gastarbeiter, who are building the arenas in Qatar, who's going to be the host, are dying because the Qatarians are. I'm not going to. I don't know what they are. I don't think I've ever met anyone from Qatar. But anyway, thousands of guest workers from other countries are dying because of health and safety measures not being in place. Anyway, that's what she says. I don't know. So she says, and by the way, the rubbish, the women's team is the good one. And she's right about that. She is right about that. Anyway, so qualifying game against Spain. Spain is one of the very best teams in the world, but we have a pretty good track record. We met them in the European Cup and drew, where they equalized late, only this summer. I mean, they're so much better than our team is on a player-by-player basis. And sure enough, after 2 minutes, I don't know, a few minutes, they scored a beautiful goal and we're up 1-0. And the Spanish team up 1-0 is no fun because they can just pass the ball. I think they passed 1,100 times when they met us in the European Cup. And they're so skilled, you can't take the ball away from them. So if they're up, they can just keep the ball and win. But 11 seconds after the kickoff, after the goal, 11 seconds, we equalized. Pretty cool pass, a long pass from Man United defender Nilsson Lindelöf, who's now the captain of the Swedish team, to Isak, who plays for Real Sociedad. God, I hope I got that right. And he just stole the ball, made a few guys, and beautiful shot by the pole. So equalizing early. And then, you know, it wasn't just one team on the pitch like you often get when one team is actually quite a lot better. We were lethal. So Isak and his friend Dejan from Juventus. They were lethal. So we don't have a lot of stars, right? We just have a few solid players at the same time for once. And in the mix, as the bit of the brain, was Emil Forsberg, plays for Leipzig Red Bull in the Bundesliga in Germany. And Lindelöf, and the goalkeeper had a really good evening. Had some really nice saves and was very secure. He's owned by Roma, but he doesn't get to play in Roma, and he's been lent to Everton, where he doesn't get to play because the first goalie is it Pickford? So he's on loan now again to Sheffield United, who are sort of struggling a bit in the championship. Scott, if you're watching, I'm sorry for mentioning Voldemort. But anyway, so he's not a superstar or anything, but he was good. So we won. So why did I talk about sound, or whatever the starting point of that tirade was? Well, for the first time we had a bit of a crowd. I think 17,000 people were let into the arena in Stockholm, and they made a racket. And I'm sure that helped a lot. So cool, we beat Spain. And we have before, and we shouldn't really. But that was, I know nothing much about football, soccer, but that was perhaps the best football game I've seen the Swedish team play in decades. It was really good. They were dangerous, they had more chances, could have been more goals. Could Spain have won? Sure. They had some cracking chances as well, but really cool. This racer is doing a really good job. Niklas put an excellent edge on what is clearly a very, very good razor. So it's a half hollow, but it's very smooth. I just hope I can maintain this edge properly, stropping it properly before and after. And I should be able to. So I generally strop mainly before the shave. I do a bit of stropping after, but mainly on the textile side of the razor, and I do it to ensure that I get all the soap residue and the moisture, water off the edge, because I dry it very carefully with a towel or a piece of tissue. But still, I feel there could be a bit of micro bubbles of water left. So I strop, because that's what I've been told to do. On canvas, on textile, 10 times, 9 times actually, for some reason. But that's all I do, and then I put it away. I let it air dry for quite a bit of time. I don't want to put it in a box to lock in any moisture. And then I do the majority of the stropping just before I shave, which could be weeks later. So there you go. Really cool little razor. I love razors with a stamp or an etching on the blade. That's, I don't know why. It's pretty. It's cool. Ooh. Incredibly close shave. Actually, just as good as the Philharmonica yesterday. A bit more resistance because it's a half hollow, which means half wedge. But a really cool shave, and such a good soap too. Beautiful, beautiful. It's nice to get up and do morning shaves. I do alternate, working from home, so I'm free to shave, not whenever, but I can do it at lunchtime, in the evening, in the morning. Aku. Choco aftershave. Pure evil. But that felt rather good because it was such a smooth shave and it was so close. Really enjoyed that. Shave&Butcher. Cool. Thank you, Chris. Really appreciate it. Thank you, and you have a good Friday and a nice upcoming weekend whenever it comes up to you. I hope you get to enjoy it and get some rest, you know, because next week it's back to the salt mines. Except if you're retired, because then it's back to doing what you were doing over the weekend, isn't it? Yeah, retired life sounds good, doesn't it? Is it good? If you're retired, do you enjoy being retired, or is it boring? I'll be there in not too distant a future. Not too soon, I hope. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. Thank you so much for watching. You take care now and stay sharp.